Hey, good lovers, it's Katrina Rainsong, the Good Love Project, and today is the 10th day of my 30 days of medibation, of solo Tantra, sacred sexuality, daily practice of blending meditation and masturbation or self-love. So cool. I'm a third of the way through my practice, and right now for this leg of the journey, I'm focusing on the chakras and moving through focusing on a new chakra each day. If you're not sure what the chakras are, they are 7 energy vortices that run up the center of the body, and you can go back to day 8 to get more information on all of that and what they are and how they work and why they're important and all that stuff. So today I worked on the 3rd chakra, which is Manipura, or the solar plexus or stomach chakra. It's actually, one of the things I love about this one is just the name, because Manipura translates to city of jewels, and I just love that. I just think that's so beautiful. The idea of all these treasures just being held there. So it's located at the navel, and it's connected to, physically, it's connected to like digestion, elimination, your kidneys and your adrenals, processing. Emotionally, it's also connected to processing. The way that we process information, particularly emotional information, is kind of similar to how we digest and process food in a lot of ways. If you've ever had, something upsets you and might make you sick to your stomach, or if something's really exciting and happy, it might give you, butterflies in your tummy. There's a reason that we have those kind of sayings. So that's all solar plexus. So its color is yellow, and its bija, its seed sound, is ram. It is connected with the element of fire. In yoga, we call that the Agni, your internal sacred fire. And it's through this fire that everything is processed. It is also the center of will, personal power, and achievement. In some cultures, the navel is considered the seat of the soul, and may even be covered by special protective clothing, or like a material wrap of some kind. I just find that interesting. In our culture, we actually have a rather troubled relationship with our tummies. We tend to eroticize the belly, and we're also socialized to have a lot of insecurity around it, especially women. We're taught to hold in our stomachs a lot, it's always supposed to be this washboard flatness. And so because of that, we often end up breathing up in our chest, which is actually how you breathe when you're stressed out. It's stress breathing. So then that tells our body that there's something wrong. So then that kicks off the sympathetic nervous system and makes us lock up and, feel like there's something wrong when maybe there's not really anything wrong. And so it's no wonder that sometimes we have trouble trusting our bodies. There's all these mixed signals going on. So with that in mind, I decided to start my practice this evening with a dynamic breathing exercise, a pranayama called breath of fire. So pranayama is a yogic breathing exercise. Excuse me. Hydration, important. So in breath of fire, the breath is controlled through activating your diaphragm by pumping the navel, by pumping your abdominals. So you can imagine it almost like panting, like but through your nose. Actually, panting is a good way to start to get the rhythm. So watch your dog; like they know how to do it. There's another pranayama called Kapalabhati, which is translated as skull polishing breath. That is very similar to breath of fire, except that it focuses mostly on the active exhale, and some teachers consider it a precursor to breath of fire. So if you're new to breath of fire, you might want to look up Kapalabhati, skull polishing breath, and start with that one before moving into the active inhale and exhale of breath of fire, because it can be kind of tricky. It's considered really good for your digestion. It definitely stokes that inner fire. It's also really good for waking you up. So like mid-afternoon, feeling kind of sluggish up here, like it'll wake you up. So, teaching yourself to breathe in your belly is actually great for your sex life. It stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what causes you to relax and to let go and to really like sink in, and it's what tells your body, hey, you're safe, it's cool, let's enjoy and explore things. Breathing into your belly also keeps you in your body. You're like literally you're pulling your consciousness and your energy and your breath low into the body. So this will actually can kind of sensitize you so things feel better. You'll feel things more deeply. It helps move the sexual energy up and through your body, which can lead to more intense pleasure and more powerful orgasms and even full body orgasms. So in Kundalini yoga, the ideal time that you eventually work up to, not right away, but that you eventually work up to for breath of fire is 31 minutes. I will admit, confession time, I am pretty out of practice. So I just started with 3 minutes. I set my alarm for my meditation, and I set a separate 3-minute alarm for the breath of fire, and I started with my breath of fire. Well, I started by lighting some candles and smudging my space and doing all the kind of ritualistic sacred space creating things that I like to do. And then I went into my 3 minutes of breath of fire. And it's funny, actually, as I was practicing, the sound kind of reminded me of like a chugging train, like a choo-choo train. And that got me started thinking about that children's story, The Little Engine That Could, which I realized is a story about will, personal power, and achievement. And I thought, oh, that's so great. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to be that train right now. And so I envisioned like stoking my inner fire in with that kind of imagery of like throwing on the coal and watching it get bigger and the light get brighter and it get hotter and it just like shining through my whole body. And then after my 3 minutes of breath of fire, I went into my self-love portion of my practice, and I used the Vesper again, which some of you have seen some of my other videos. The Vesper is the wearable like vibrator necklace from Love Crave. So I used my Vesper again, and I found that while I was practicing, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a minute. Post-orgasmic silliness in my head, sorry. So as I went into my self-love practice with my vibrator, I focused on really breathing into my body and breathing into my belly, and especially keeping my belly and the rest of my body relaxed, even as I started to experience the myotonia, which is the involuntary flexing of muscles that happens during sexual arousal. So allowing that natural process to happen, but not letting it lock down my whole body, trying to keep the rest of my body really open and fluid. And I found that after doing the breath of fire, and so having that focus and already having that feeling in my body, I was able to actually to go longer, to take more of the vibration, more of the sensations, and to just write it out more. And I actually ended up having my first multiple orgasm that I've had on this journey. Not my first multiple orgasm ever. I've been having multiple orgasms for years, but the first that I've had in this 30-day practice. So that was lovely and wonderful and exciting. And as you can see, I'm still a little bit still in an altered state of consciousness. And I was a little worried that the breath of fire might keep me awake, because it does. I mean, that is one of the benefits of it, is to wake you up. But with the orgasm happening, I was able to really disperse all that energy and then direct it and settle it. And so I'm actually going to sleep very well, very restfully tonight. And I've decided it's time. It's well overdue. I'm going to make Breath of Fire a part of my daily practice from now on. Mostly in the morning. I want to try to get it started in the morning, which actually goes along with another sacred sexuality practice in Taoist study. There's a belief that bringing yourself to arousal before you get out of bed in the morning, just to arousal, not to full release, is actually really healthy for you, because it really wakes up the body. So I may start bringing that in too when I can. Sometimes, with having a new baby in the house, I don't really have the option to get to go into that space at all first thing in the morning. But I can totally do Breath of Fire at any time. So that's going to become a daily thing. Anyway, that's my share for tonight. Sorry it's another late one, but I'm sticking with it every day for 30 days. So I will drop some links in the comments for more information on Breath of Fire and different forms of pranayama, and also a solar plexus meditation that you can listen to if that's something you want to follow along with. And we'll see you next time. Have sweet dreams and keep on good loving.